And go. Okay, so taking a look at Native American vocabulary. We're going to go ahead and read each of these together, and then I'm going to kind of give you some examples of what those things are. So ancestor, a person who was in someone's family in past times. So what that means is an ancestor is obviously somebody that really isn't living today, that lived a long, long, long way back. Like maybe my mother's mother's mother, right? Or my dad's mother's aunt. That is my ancestor, right? So maybe they lived, like I know one of my ancestors fought in the Revolutionary times, or the Revolutionary War, right? So you can find out about your ancestors as you talk to your family. Yes?
Did your ancestor really fight in the Revolution?
Yes.
She did? I mean,
He did, yeah. He did, yes. All right, Zoe.
My mom's brother fought in the army.
In the army? Excellent. Right, so
He's fighting in the army.
is he alive today? Well, then that's part of your family, right? Your ancestors are people that lived in past times. So, culture. Go ahead and read it. Culture.
The beliefs are
Place or time. Society. Group, place, or time. Okay, so basically a culture is like a lot of these different things, beliefs, right? Like we have a culture here in our school building of Catholic faith, right? So, we believe in God and Jesus. We have the tabernacle. That's, our part of our traditions and customs is part of our culture, right? And so that's kind of part of our culture. I know I heard the other class talking about Among Us, right? Yeah. Among Us is a type of art form, right? It's a video game. That's a type of art form. That is part of your.
I like that.
That is part of your culture, right? That's part of your culture. Yes.
There's a hacker.
I believe that. Yes. All right. So, elder.
An older person.
A person who is older, right? So an elder, it would be like your grandmother or your grandfather, right?
Yeah.
They're the person that is older than you.
Or like your mom and dad. Or your sister if she's older.
Yeah.
Or basically everyone who's older than that.
Exactly. You're elder. Okay. Heritage.
The traditions and achievements beliefs that are part of the history of a group or nation.
Okay. So
What are you reading?
when we're thinking about heritage, we're thinking about way back when, right? Your heritage. So like those of you whose families came from Mexico, you have a heritage of those different customs and those different cultural beliefs, right? So heritage is basically from the past, something that was like your culture, right? That was in the past. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're kind of connecting this vocabulary. Okay. Indigenous.
Living or existing naturally in a particular
Region or environment. So when I talked to you yesterday about indigenous people, about Native Americans, right? Indigenous basically means that they were naturally occurring here. So they don't know how the people got here necessarily. We just know that they were here. So indigenous people means that they were there, that they were naturally occurring there, as far as we know. Okay? Tradition. All right. So last year when we were talking about Christmas, right? We were talking about Christmas from different cultures, right? We talked about traditions, right? Things that people do. Like a lot of you participated in a tradition that is an American tradition by going trick-or-treating house to house, right? That's a tradition that we have in America. Yes, Eliana.
Can we have a tree of this year?
I'm doing my research now. We're going to see. We'll probably only have 2 weeks of Christmas around the world, but we'll see. All right. Kennedy.
I did not like the food from last.
Well, I'm sorry. It's just
Neither
what we did. Zoe.
Can we travel around the world this year?
Well, we're traveling, but to different places. We'll talk about that later. All right. Okay, treaty.
An official agreement that is made between two or more countries or groups.
Excellent. So a treaty, right? And so a treaty is usually used when people that are at war are trying to come to a peaceful agreement. So a lot of times a treaty is all about peace. All right, tribe. Go ahead.
A group of people that includes many people that live like the same language, the same
Right. So when we learned about that word community, a tribe is a lot like a community, right? But they also have kind of a similar culture and heritage. So we're going to be talking about tribes of Native American tribes, right? And a lot of times tribes is used with indigenous people or even some other different groups of people, right? But and for what we're doing, we're using it with the Native American groups. Yes, Eliana? And Avatar, right? Exactly. Which we're going to be watching again tomorrow. I'm very excited. Reservation.
An area of land in the U.S. that is kept separate as a place for Native Americans to live.
Okay, so part of the treaty that the U.S. gave the Native Americans, the indigenous people, was to have these reservations, these small pieces of land that these tribes, these nations moved to kind of stay there, and that's a reservation for them. So, and still today there are Native American reservations. Today, Native Americans live among us, right? They are not just history, right? They're living, breathing people now. Okay, I want to get you in that frame of mind because I don't want you to think that this just happened in the past and they're gone. They exist. Right? They're still here. Right. Yes, Zoe.
Are there still people who were there that are here now? Like
No, nobody lives that long. So it's just passed down information and traditions. All right, so here's what I'm going to have you do. You are going to read this with a neighbor, which is going to be kind of hard, a little bit. So here's how I'm going to do this. Arlette, you're going to read with Norlin. Or wait, is that how I'm going to do? No. Go ahead and read your thing.